everyone, welcome back to Measure and Mix. Today I'm going to be making some cute and fun Dollar Tree Easter DIYs. If you're new to my channel, welcome, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ring the bell before you leave so you get notified when I upload a new video, which I do every week. Alright, let's get started. The first DIY, I'm going to create a bunny wreath with these two light colored willow wreaths from Dollar Tree. One is bigger and one is smaller. Now I'm going to hook them together, but because I'm not going to put anything around the neck, I'm trying to hide how I hook them together with this floral wire. I just had this floral wire lying around, so I am just weaving it in between both of the wreaths in and out, so that way I make sure it's secure. So I used basically 3 pieces of wire through the wreaths and just twisted them all together, and then I just came back with some hot glue and glued that all on the back. Then when I flipped it over, it was really secure and you couldn't tell that there were wires holding it together. Now what I'm going to do is take this linen white chalk paint and just give this a real light coat to make it bright and white. Next, I'm going to create the bunny ears out of this wire from Dollar Tree, and it's just a gold wire. It's really easy to bend, so I'm just going to bend it in half and then bend it in half again to create 2 pieces, so that way I can make 2 ears. Then I just took one of the pieces and bent it in half and gave it sort of a bunny ear shape just by working with it, and then I just twisted the bottom 2 wires together to hold the shape of the ear. And then I just did the same thing to the other bunny ear, so that way I had 2 ears that looked the same.
Jump into the car on a Friday night, I wanna drive with you, looking for a bar in the
Once I shaped the ears the way I liked them, I took the rest of the wire and I just started by wrapping it down at the bottom of where the ears connected, and then I just weaved it in and out around the ear, and this is just going to give it some more depth and dimension, so that way the ear stands out a little bit more. And then I did the same thing to the other ear. I ended up using 2 packs of this wire for both ears and for the little decorative wrap that I did on them. Now I'm just going to connect the ears to the smaller top part of the wreath, which is the bunny's head. So I'm just going to weave that little piece on the bottom of the ear inside the wreath on both ears, and then I'm going to secure it together with some hot glue. You're not going to see this in the long run, so it doesn't matter how it looks as long as it's secure. Now I wanted to give my bunny a succulent crown instead of a floral crown, which I see a lot of Easter decor out there. So I had these succulents, which are from Dollar Tree. They're like a lighter color. I just think that they're really pretty. I had 2 of each, and I am just going to hot glue them down around the top of the bunny's head and around the ears to cover up that bottom part of the ears. And as you can see here, they were a little hard to hot glue, so you'll want to hot glue them down, but you want to hold them and make sure that they stay in place before you move on to the next succulent. Once the succulents were all secured down nicely, I decided it needed some moss in between the succulents. So I should have added the moss before I added the succulents, but I didn't think of it until after the fact. So I just went ahead and took some of the Spanish moss from Dollar Tree and added some hot glue and just put little clumps around the succulents and around the back of the bunny head, and it worked out perfectly. Then I just added a hanger with some twine by hot gluing it to the back, and that was it. For the second DIY, I'm going to use 3 of these ceramic bunnies. from Dollar Tree. I had 2 of them from last year, so I had already taken out the hangers on the heads off of them. So this one, I'm just going to show you, I just pulled it out. You just got to be really gentle and pull it out so that way you don't break the bunny's head. You could use little needle nose pliers if that works better for you, but they're really easy to take out. Next, what I'm going to do is use a 3-pack of the small terracotta pots from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to rest 1 pot on each bunny's head and ears. So the pot is kind of tilted a little bit on the head and the ears. I just used hot glue to secure them down, but you could use E6000 or something stronger to give it a stronger hold. Now, since a couple of my bunnies were from last year, I had already painted one of them white, I think. So I wanted everything to be cohesive. So I just went ahead and gave everything a coat of a cream colored chalk paint. So it just kind of looked everything looked cohesive and it looked like it was a ceramic from top to bottom. But I do like the terracotta pot color and the ceramic bunny if you kind of wanted to mix it up. Next, I took these flowers from Dollar Tree. I had a couple bunches left over from last year, and I just plucked the stems and the flowers off that I liked, or the leaves and the flowers off that I liked, and I just placed them inside the pots. I didn't use any styrofoam or anything. I just kind of tucked them down in each one of the pots. Lastly, I had 3 of these little chalkboard stake signs from Dollar Tree. So I just used my chalkboard marker and wrote hop on all 3 of them. And then I just placed 1 in each pot. And I think this turned out so cute for Easter.
I tell you about the time when I first met you, listening to a favorite song, walking on the street when you caught my eye, something about the way you move. No, there ain't nobody like. So lucky to be yours.
For the last DIY, I found one of these little frames, decorative frames from Dollar Tree, and I really liked the blue color on the outside. It was like a grayish, bluish color. So I'm going to leave that color, but I'm going to go ahead and remove the middle and sand the inside, so that way it takes my paint a lot better because it's kind of like a slick surface on the inside. And I just painted it with 2 coats of white chalk paint. Now I'm going to take that middle round circle piece and I'm just going to sand it a little bit again, so that way it's not so shiny and it takes the paint a lot better. And I just mixed a little black acrylic paint and a little white chalk paint together until I got a nice little gray color that was kind of similar to the box already, the frame on the box already. And then I just painted it with a coat of that. Then I made this free printable, which I will link down below in the description box for you guys, that says "Some Bunny Loves You." And I made it so that way it would be a pretty perfect circle to fit on top of this circle already. So I just took some Mod Podge and glued it down to the top of that circle. I didn't cover it in Mod Podge because I have an inkjet printer and it will smear everywhere. So I just left that alone, and then I came back once it was dry and sanded the edges just to distress it a little bit more. Then I hot glued it back down to the center of my box. Lastly, to give my frame a little bunny detail, I'm going to be using the ears off of this little burlap basket from Dollar Tree. I just used a seam ripper to take off the ears. They were held on there by like 3 little seams, so it really wasn't hard to take off at all. And I am just going to use some hot glue to kind of glue them together at the bottom, so that way the ears have a little bit of a pucker in the middle, if that makes sense, so they're not just kind of one-dimensional. And then I hot glued them to the back of the frame. I still thought they were a little too flat, I guess, so I went ahead and brought them a little bit forward and hot glued them to the top of the frame as well to give them a little bit more of that pucker feel, to just brighten them up. I love how this little frame turned out, and I love the saying. I think it's so cute. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed these DIYs. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook and tag me so I can see your DIYs, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.